Hey crypto friends, for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Garrett and welcome to Altcoin Radar. Today guys, today's video is going to be a little bit short, I hope anyway, but I'm going to teach you guys the four most common identifiers of finding support and resistance levels while you are doing technical analysis while you are trading the market, okay? I'm pretty sure this will work in any other market, but I mainly use it for crypto since that's the only market I really trade, all right? So for those of you who are new to the channel, if you are interested in trading and would like to try the same crypto exchange that I use on a regular basis, feel free to go ahead and try the MEXC crypto exchange. You can find a link to it in the description below this video. I personally love this exchange because one, I've been using it for 3 years with no issues whatsoever. And on top of that, they allow me to trade crypto futures on a regular basis. And they have over 1,500 different altcoins for me to trade whenever the heck I want. I'm a huge altcoin nerd, so I love being able to buy all kinds of low cap altcoins before a new bull market starts. So that is another reason why MEXC has all the altcoins that I want to be able to buy, okay? So again, if you want to give it a try, there is a link in the description below the video to give it a try, all right? So if you are not already familiar with support and resistance levels in trading or while trading, take some time to look through some of my other support and resistance videos in my technical analysis and trading tips playlists on my channel, just so you can get an idea for it. Here I've got my playlists open right here. I have a playlist called Technical Analysis, another one called Crypto Trading Tips. There's all kinds of videos in here where I do different trading videos and stuff like that with specifically support and resistance. So if you are not familiar with using support and resistance in trading, go ahead and check out some of these videos and try to get a feel for what I'm talking about here. Other than that, if you don't want to do that, I guess I can explain it as well in a general sense, just a broad overview. So in a general sense, a support and resistance level is basically just a level of price or a cluster of prices that has pretty much acted as they've pretty much acted like a floor and or a ceiling in the past, and has pretty much proceeded to a large move in any direction thereafter, all right? It's actually pretty simple once you start to mark them and try to find them and stuff like that. So now I'm actually going to show you the four most common identifiers of finding support and resistance levels, okay? Because they're pretty easy, all right? This will be able to help you, knowing these different identifiers will be able to help you to be able to figure out where the most common support and resistance levels are. Now the reason why this is important is because millions and millions and millions of other people around the globe that are trading the crypto market, or any market realistically, are using the same exact support and resistance levels. There are a ton of people who trade with nothing but support and resistance levels, and there's really not much to it. I mean, that's really how people trade. I mean, that's how a lot of people do it. It's as simple as that. It really is. So we're going to talk about the four most common identifiers of finding these support and resistance levels, all right? So don't mind my my third grade art abilities here. So I'm in Photoshop right here, and these are the four most common identifiers for finding support and resistance. The first one we've got, the first identifier we have is the peak of a rally, okay? So as you guys can clearly see here, we got the peak right here. We're in a rally right here. We went all the way up, and we formed a peak, all right? Before going back down. So at the peak of this rally, we put our horizontal resistance line, all right? Now, the next identifier for a support and resistance level would be the bottom of a dump, okay? So the bottom of this dump, let's say this right here is the bottom of the dump, and that's right here. We go to the bottom, we find our dump, or that we get to the bottom of the dump, we put our support line right down here, all right? Because that would be the bottom of the dump before heading back up again, all right? Now, the third common identifier for support and resistance levels is consolidations that are formed between impulsive moves and consolidations before impulsive moves, all right? So as you guys can clearly see here, we went up, and then we went down, and then we went back up again in an impulse, okay? So right in between here, in between these two moves, would be the consolidation that we're talking about here, all right? It doesn't get any simpler than that. It's pretty easy. So the last common identifier for finding support and resistance levels are areas of recurring tests, which pretty much means an area, pretty much a key layer area where we continue to keep testing over and over and over. You can clearly see that here. We went up, and then we formed a peak up here, and then we went back down, and then we went back up again, and we went to that peak again, but we went right through it instead. And then we went back down again, and then we ended up stopping at that same mark again before going back up impulsively. So realistically, we touched this layer of support right here and resistance. We passed it 3 different times right there, all right? So that would be another key layer where you would want to draw a line, all right? So now I'm actually going to show you on an actual real chart where you would put these lines and stuff like that, all right? So realistically here, let me get my Bitcoin chart out. So this is my personal Bitcoin chart and my personal Bitcoin trading chart in the current market right now at the time of me filming this video, okay? So as you guys can clearly see here, I've got all of my purple lines are support and resistance levels, okay? This red line is a support level as well. But every single purple line you see here is a level of major support and resistance right now, okay? So we are going to go to a blank chart, and we are going to I'm going to show you these different levels of support and resistance based on the identifiers that I just taught you here, okay? So the first one I'm going to show you is the peak of a rally, okay? So as you guys can clearly see here, we were all the way down here, and we went all the way up top up here, okay? So this would be the peak of this rally, okay? Which is why I drew this line, this purple line, right at the top of this rally, okay? So that would be a good solid level to put a resistance line, which is why I put that there, all right? So the next one would be the bottom of a dump, all right? Now, as you guys can clearly see here, we dumped a lot from the top of here all the way to the bottom of here. So we dumped all the way down here, and that's why I put a line right at the bottom of this dump. Now, you'll notice my I always mark the bottom of dumps in red just so I can keep them separated from all of my main other regular horizontal support and resistance lines. So that's the only reason why it's red. Other than that, it's a major level of, obviously it's the most major level of support in the current trend that we're trading in pretty much, all right? So realistically here, that would be a good example of the bottom of the dump, all right? So now the next identifier that I'm going to show you is going to be consolidations that are formed between impulsive moves and consolidations before impulsive moves as well. Okay, so as you guys can clearly see here, we start down here, we go all the way up here, and then we go back down here to retest, and then we go back through again up here, and we went through. But we didn't continue going back down. We went all the way back down again, and then back up again to try to retest that again, and then back down and retest the same line again. So realistically, I could have kept drawing that. I don't know why I didn't. So we go down there, and then we retest up here, and then we go back down again and retest again, but this time we went through, and then we ended up going back up again. So realistically, we tested a ton of times between these levels right here. So that is why I placed my support and resistance lines right between these two first ones right here, okay? Now, realistically, I could have gone through and put them at the top and bottom of the actual trend here, which is actually what I probably should have done, to be honest with you. So realistically, that would have made more sense, okay? You would put the line, you would put the support or the resistance line right above at the very top of, you know, where we pretty much peaked out up here, and then at the bottom of where we dumped down here before starting to go up. And as you guys can clearly see, we ended up going straight up, and it impulsed straight upwards further, all right? So that is a good example of, you know, marking areas of recurring tests. I mean, we tested these areas of support and resistance so many times right here. You can clearly see it. So realistically here, trying to find different areas of key support and resistance, it's really not that hard, to be honest with you. And in addition to that, another area of recurring tests would have been right here. I mean, look at this. We hit this level, we tested this level up here 2 different times, okay? So I would definitely want to place a line right here, all right? So that's why I placed a line up there as well. So as you guys can clearly see, it's super easy to mark where your support and resistance levels are. It just takes a little bit of time and a little bit of getting used to. But once you start doing it and you start coupling that with how the price is actually moving, you can really start to see exactly how it all works, and your overall trading gets very, very easy after that. I mean, it really does. So if you guys have any questions about any of this stuff or anything like that, feel free to feel free to ask me anything in the comment section below this video. This is why I created my channel. I love helping people. So if you got questions, don't be shy. Feel free to ask. So other than that, you guys, that's going to pretty much do it for this video. So I will go ahead and wrap this one up. But again, guys, hey, before you guys leave, go ahead and make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a new crypto and altcoin video from me on a regular basis. And hey, guys, with that said, thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the comment section down below of my future videos.